Hello and welcome to a new playthrough of a game called Citizen Sleeper 2 Starward Vector. Now, I don't know loads about this, but it came out on Game Pass, and it the art and the description of it caught my eye. And so I'm just going to jump in completely blind, not played this ever before, not played the first one, I'm afraid, and literally just opened the game. So we are going to... Ooh, difficulty. So I believe, you use dice it's kind of like a D&D almost style. You use dice to decide what's going to happen. And it's an RPG, I believe, as well. So for those who are focused on the story, low risk option, I'm going to go low risk because I want to enjoy the story. I don't know what it is or anything like that, so I'd rather play it and enjoy it and then play it difficult. If I really enjoy it, play it in a more difficult setting after. So we're going to go with really easy. And there's already so much stuff going on. I have no idea what any of this is. You could be a mechanist, an operator, an extractor. Is that all? Yeah, so there's three options. Operator sleepers are built to work with drones and remote machines over local networks to perform corporate resource extraction from distance. Operators have expertise in working with interfaces and computer systems, but are more physically fragile than other sleepers. Their reboot skill allows them to hack their own system to re-roll dice, a risky but potentially powerful move. Sleepers assigned to operator work are usually cerebral and precise people. Then you've got extractor, who looks a bit like a heavy. Extractor sleepers are built to work the coalface of corporate resource extraction, often in hard vacuum environments. Extractors have high level of physical endurance, but their confidence means they struggle with tasks requiring intuition. Their rally skill allows them to motivate those in their team, boosting their crew dice. Sleepers assigned to extractor work are often very confident, self-sufficient, and have a high level of endurance. And then machinist, I think it is. Sleepers are built to repair and modify automated systems used in corporate resource extraction. Machinists are very skilled engineers, but their isolated work means they often struggle with tasks requiring a direct approach or social engagement. Their focus allows them to focus on a single task, and boost their dice to excel in it. Sleepers assigned to mechanist work are usually diligent, careful, and structured people. I have no idea what I need because I've not played this before. I have no real frame of reference, but I'm going to go with this guy because I like his yellow coat. I'm going to go with operator. It's the first one it pops you with. Maybe this is kind of like the average one. So I'm going to jump in. So I think what it is you're like some sort of AI robot who works as like a drone, and then it's like the story of you trying to make your way in this space world sort of thing. It sounds really interesting. We're just going to find out as we go, though. In the moment before waking, the dark space before conscious thought, you struggle to find the piece of yourself. Usually these pieces come with a particular cadence, each appearing sequentially, like the boot process of an old terminal. First, your body, artificial, compromised, but relaying sense data all the same. Then it's context, the breeze of air filtration, the soft contact of your birth in 0G. Then emotion, coming into focus, coming into your body, bringing with it the first instinct, the one that has framed your past hundreds cycles. Fear. But that familiar sequence does not arrive. Instead, you are unmoored in space, your body distant, your context silent, even your emotions somehow obscured and scattered. Among all that disarray, only one familiar thing arrives: the fear. It's scrambled, panicked fear, the drowning fear, the falling fear, the fear that makes you reach desperately for any stable point. It is the fear that tells you something is wrong. Something is very wrong with you. Wake up, sleeper. The voice is whispered in your ear. An act that makes you suddenly aware of your head pulsing in pain, your body rigid with tension. A sleeper. A familiar name. A mind copied, emulated. A body built, implanted. One person sleeping until their debt is worked away. Their double being made to work, to be consumed, and eventually to be destroyed. A proxy, an emulation, a sleeper. That's what you are. But you escaped. You remember now, broke free of your corporate creators, Essen Arp. It's quite funny, though. In search of your future. You cannot remember the details of your escape, but you know the fear has been with you ever since. All of a sudden you remember you have eyes, and your eyes flicker open. Pale eyes in a pale face. Lane. The name comes with its own specific sensation of fear, one you recoil from instinctively. Sorry to interrupt, a sharp smirk, but this ends here. You search your mind for more than a name. Is this how you reward me for my generosity? Lane is leaning over your horizontal floating body, looking down in your eyes. I took you in, protected you, gave you a purpose. You try to look away, to the corners of your vision. You find something to find something you understand. Your body does not respond. But I suppose that wasn't enough. He reaches into his pocket of his jacket and retrieves a small vial. This wasn't enough. The vial glitters. The object you know and have known for a long time. Stabilizer. The drug that keeps your artificial body, your emulated mind, from inevitable decay. The only balm for your planned obsolescence. The liquid rolling in the vial fills you with disgust. Lane pockets the vial. But it would be wasted on you now. After what you have done to this body of yours. He looks at you with palpable disgust. Lane's eyes scan your body. As they do, you become aware of the wires and tubes attached to you. Those were meant to free you from dependence, from the stabilizer and the control it grants Lane. They are free, you piece of shit. They don't need you anymore. The voice comes from somewhere behind Lane's head. It's a voice you know, but when you search your mind to try and understand why, you only find dizzying darkness. Shut him up. Lane barks the command, and you hear the sound of impact, the pain from elsewhere in the room. You try and move your limbs again, and this time you feel a flicker, the twitch of a finger. You feel the extension and compression of synthetic muscle. Free, are you? Lane smirks. You were free when you were disabled, when I disabled your tracker, when I gave you the stabilizer you needed. He scans your body with angry eyes. Now you aren't free, you're just broken. I had such big plans for you, sleeper. I invested in you. Lane grips your arm hard. You feel a jolt of reaction. You will the arm to move. But you've ruined all that. Lane speaks louder over the sound of the struggle behind him. I will try to persevere. I'm doing it. I will try to preserve your body. Of course, I have my own uses for it, but your emulation? You feel one of his hands searching behind your head. He finds and grips the thick cable running into the port at the base of your skull. I will burn that out. Lane jerks forward, slamming across your body and spinning away out of sight. You feel yourself rolling, the cables plugged into you, looping and wrapping around your limbs. Then you feel hands steadying you, pulling cables. You glance around wildly and see someone diligently unplugging you. You meet his eyes. Hey, he waves a hand in your dizzied face. We need to move. They won't be out long. He unloops the cable from around your wrist. Sleeper? Help me out here. You blink slowly. Do you know this person? He leans over you, and you feel his hand on the connector, flicking switches, releasing locks. Come on, come on, come on! He tugs the connectors clear and pulls you up. You see a room where you are. You see the room you are in for the first time, filled with tech and terminals, wires waving everywhere, all lit by big windows looking out on impossibly bright screen-filled streets beyond. In the corner, you see the dark shapes of floating bodies surrounded by glittering constellations of crimson baubles. Is that blood? Move! You are wrestled and shoved towards the door, which slides open in front of you, and then you are out in the brightness. All that movement, gliding hard towards some unknown destination. You come to a stop in a dark alley. The one who guided you here pausing to catch his breath. He doubles over beside a massive life support unit and sends a lukewarm breeze across your skin. You stare at him, trying to recall anything about him. You notice his tattered jacket, his lightweight clothes. You remember his station. Remember this station runs hot. Something about power that flows through this place. He looks up and meets your eye. What's going on, Sleeper? He wipes sweat from his forehead and floats away to a swarm of spheres. Talk to me. Let's go with who are you? You see a concerned frown across his face. Don't mess with me, Sleeper. It's not funny. He comes closer, eyeing you carefully. What station are we on? He narrows his eyes, waits for the answer. You close your eyes, trying to recall. You force your way through the dark of the images of a station. No, a city, growing in the back of vast sets of hexagonal solar cells, shadowed by them. You open your eyes. Dark side. The word leaves your mouth like an exhale, an instinct. Before you heard yourself sound it out, you didn't know it was there. He sighs. And me? Who am I? You see something like fear in his eyes. Panic, perhaps. You stare hard at his face. The silent upturn of his mouth. The intensity of his stare. Nothing comes. He closes his eyes and drops his head, putting his hand into his temple. The reboot, he said. He is speaking quietly to himself. Lane interrupted the process and he lifts up his head and stares at you. We need to keep going. We need to leave. He turns and kicks down the alley. Come on, the rig can't be far. As you are led through the passages and serviceways of the station, you try to recall your life here. The texture, the temperature of Darkside feels familiar, but you struggle to pin specific memories to it. Focusing hard, you recall waking in these passages, cycle after cycle, the rhythms of the station flowing over you. Along with the crowds, you recall desperation and the slow decay of your body that caused it. Then Lane, those pale eyes, offering you a glittering vial, stabilizer, the promise of supplying you more for your work, a deal he locked you into like a cage. There your memory fails you, but the dark beyond that moment, the residue of panic, of fear remains. You were Lane's prisoner, Lane's plaything. You shudder in the cold passage. Wait, your guide holds up a hand, and you stop your glide using the wall. Ahead you see the tunnel opens and the wide open bay with a few doors leading to cylindrical tunnels. The docks. They're watching the rig. He nods towards the docks and you see one of the doors has a couple of figures flanking it. One covered in ornate tattoos, the other with bright silver implants along their cheekbones. Utsubo, Lane's guys. He looks at you and shakes his head in frustration. All this, it's not coming back to you, is it? Something catches your eye and you see he's playing with a coin, nervously turning it over and over in his fingers. He sees you looking and slips it away. He places his a hand on his chest. I'm Seraphim, alright? He looks pained when he speaks. Lane, he was our captor, both of us. We did this so we could escape. We need to re-beat you, to break your dependence on stabilizer. He pauses. You know what that is, right? I nod meekly. But Lane interrupted me back there. The reboot didn't complete, and he sighs and shakes his head. We can still make this work. He looks back at you, but looks back at the dock. I'll lead them away. You get the docking bridge open. If we make it to the rig, I know how to get us in. Got that? He searches your face for a sign of recognition. I've got it. Get that door open. He pats you on the shoulder. I know you know you can do this. Seraphim kicks off hard and glides into the dock. Over here, shitheads, he bellows, and the guards as he barrels through, they immediately push off from the wall, giving chase. Okay, so there's a tutorial. During this scenes, you may encounter skill checks, where you can perform certain actions using your skills, like dice actions you will encounter later. Skill checks can have positive, neutral, or negative outcomes. The better your rating of skill, the more likely you will be to succeed in a check. The odds of success are displayed when you select the check. You can see more information in the guide section of the pause menu. Okay, so we can either hack the door, break the seal. Hack is more likely because it's got 50% positive or 50% neutral. So we'll go with that. You wait a breath, then glide across the door they were guarding. You look already panicked at the tightly sealed door. Its control panel locked out. You hear a shout from somewhere nearby. You need to get it open. Positive outcome. Oh, we lost some stress as well. You shift the control panel, your fingers dancing across the keys. Without thinking, you access the maintenance layer and trigger fire safety venting procedure. The panel drones out a klaxon and the door pops open with a hiss. Go, go! Seraphim flies past you through the doorway into the docking tunnel. You turn to see two guards approaching fast across the door and quickly fast across the docks and quickly glide after Seraphim. Seraphim is already at the rig's door inputting the entry code. The rig's door scissors open and you both rush inside. Quickly! Seraphim grabs you by the arm and drags you up to the cockpit. The ship's layout hazy in your mind. He dumps you in the flight seat and straps himself down into his own. You can see him tap a series of buttons as he does, talking to himself. Come on. The rig's drives rumble into life and Seraphim slams a button on the console. You feel the force of the ship's acceleration as he pulls away. And we're free! I was not expecting to have to read everything. So that's we've got past that first bit and escaped. We're now on the rig. This is an interesting game. I wasn't expecting this. Having to like read through all of it and like it not having any like proper. I mean, it's got animations, but it's like at the moment it's just like the scene that you're in, not your person or anything like that. It's a really different game, but I don't hate it. I quite like it. I'm having a bit of trouble with my Xbox though. It keeps turning the screen off. So I think we're going to finish the video there. We escaped at the beginning. We now have like the start set up. And then we'll come back next time to see what happens once we've escaped, if we are able to reboot and get our memory back and things like that. Let me know what you think in the comments. Sorry you've had to hear me like read it all out so much. There's no voice acting from the looks of it, so it's going to be more of this. So if you don't like that, let me know in the comments as well. So thanks for watching. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you when I see you.